right? And instantly there you're saying that this person is fake. Like, you can't have a baby being born without sperm. That's, everyone fucking knows this. You can't have a baby without sperm. So fake, like as soon as you start hearing the story, this guy is fake, right? But they just keep taking it forward, and they say that, like, I mean, there are big gaps in his history. He's born, and these three wise men show up, right? We've got, like, these three wise men. We'll give him this guy will have a similar hat. Right? Three kings, perhaps. And, in this legend, these three kings show up, and they realize that this baby that's born is the Lord God of the universe, right? And then what do? They leave, right? So they leave, instead of like taking the baby and taking him off to some sort of like training camp or something. They just leave. I have this weird theory where, like, if this were an actual real occurrence, they would have killed themselves so that they could jump into the baby's head. All right. It's very interesting, but it's fake. So they came up with this legend where this guy figures out all this stuff, or he's born and he's already like a king of the universe, right? But like he decides to like study stuff because there's still more stuff to do, and he goes and he figures all this stuff out, and then he comes back to his hometown, and he's like, "Hey guys, I figured out the secret of existence. Just be cool to one another, right? It's admirable, but it's fake. These guys have studied what cool is, right? They studied who the most popular people in Jerusalem are, or in Bethlehem, I guess in Jerusalem. They studied like who the most popular people in Jerusalem are, and they're like, oh, okay, they're cool, right? It's better to like be cool and be the bigger man, so we'll design our character, Jesus, to be the ultimate cool person, right? Hey, if somebody hits you, just turn the other cheek, Just be like, yeah, now this side, right? Woo, awesome, woo, 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 right? But he's fake. So what happens is he speaks out against the ruling, I guess the ruling people of the area, and these guys get mad that he's like telling everyone not to do things that these guys want people to do, and so like they get mad. It seems a little weird without the mystical stuff, but like they get mad and decide to have him crucified, right? If you add a little bit of the mystical stuff, he comes out and he says that he's God. I'm God, everyone, and like I know everything and stuff. These guys get mad because they think that they control God, and they have him killed. Bonk. But then what happens is, like, somehow everybody realizes that he was right and that he was God, and they start worshiping him 500 years later, right? So what happens is that what happens in actuality is that these guys come up with a story, right? And then all of these people form together into a giant Voltron Jesus, and like essentially they form into a giant Voltron Jesus and move around with this template that these guys have created and act as some sort of like big bully Voltron person. Yeah?
I'm trying to get back to sleep.
Sorry. I got a little impassioned with my delivery. But what happens is, that's my dad. I just woke my dad up. Anyway, what happens is they get together and they form this big Voltron, or these guys are obviously in the spirit world by 500 years later, and they're assuming the identity of this person because they're evil fuckers, and they're going around and they're using some sort of science. I don't want to really we'll do this. They're using like some science, soul science, right? The science of like shuffling souls and using like soul recipes to like present themselves as this fictional character, but then drawing upon the existence of all of these template people and forming a giant Voltron Jesus, right? So it's like they take all of these people, these are the same people as these people, so they take all of these people, times like, 7,000 perhaps, 7,000 people over the span of 1,000 years. Now this is like a monumentally, like, this is a monumental era, like this 1,000 years that I'm presenting to you all as being the stage, like these 1,000 years that I'm presenting to you all, this 1,000 years of continuity. This 1,000-year continuity of events breaks down to the God contest years that were covered up, in like that were covered. These God contest years were covered up right after they ended. And this guy, these people, right, utilizing a system, oh, now I'll be Jesus, and like, they're using a system that relies upon each individual's limited exposure to the spirit world. So like these guys can just jump into, Joe Average's brain, and because they are organized, like, no one else appears to be Jesus. So this guy can have a little dream here, and he only sees Jesus here. He only sees somebody going, "I'm Jesus," whereas all of the other members of the Jesus Club are just holding back because this guy is this person's personal Jesus, right? So like what happened is they were able to like to present themselves as a theoretical ruler of the universe, and they would just bully all of the people who believed in this into thinking that they were God. But all of the other religions stuck around, and like, the Norse people did not worship Jesus, and the Jewish people did not worship Jesus because they invented him, and then like Buddhist people don't worship Jesus, and Shinto people don't worship Jesus, and Hindu people don't worship Jesus. And so like there was a battle. It's been a constant battle for many years. So let's see. So this battle had been going on. A lot of people in the spirit world knew that Jesus was fake, and so he wasn't a legitimate ruler of the universe. So what happened is 4 years ago, 5 years, hold on, 2004, about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I figure everything out, and I win the Secret God contest, and I become the actual legitimate single being that figures everything out and trumps everyone. All of these dudes were competing in this contest with me. Every Jesus was out there. Every Zeus was out there. Every Loki was out there, and I beat all of them. So I am the person that beat every Loki, which some people would say is more difficult than beating every Jesus, right? So I beat every Loki, I beat every Jesus, and I became Zeus, which is really odd, but like I became what Zeus represents, the Lord of the universe, right? And there was a bunch of jokes that I encountered, with like Jesus, or his, some people would pronounce this Jesus, right? And so like there was a theory where like back when Jesus was considered to be a real person, like by some people, that he was called Jesus, right? But like the people in his mind, like, or the spirits riding alongside him in his terminal, in his mind terminal, were just reminded of Zeus, right? So it sounded like people were saying, "Hey Zeus," I know the writers of Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, that's what it was called. I know the writers of Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance get this joke, but like You know, so like he hears Jesus and he turns around, and so spirit world people go, ah, he's Zeus, right? He's secretly Zeus in disguise. He's a god that has disguised himself as a mortal being.